Now, the government is trying to tackle this prison overcrowding crisis by fast-tracking the removal of foreign inmates.
Yes, so ministers are expected to announce plans to deport offenders from other countries more swiftly. Potentially, it could free up to 10,000 prison spaces.
Well, this move is part of a broader effort to prevent the criminal justice system reaching a breaking point. So who better to discuss this with than the barrister and writer Stephen Barrett? Stephen, I have to say, it was slightly music to my ears reading this, that instead of releasing people early, we might actually finally deport some foreign criminals.
Yes, well, we did have the first Rwanda scheme, which failed. We then had the second Rwanda scheme, and I said that that was going to fail, and I still believe it was. This may well be music to people's ears, but the devil's going to be in the detail. Because let me give you a very simple example. If people remember the first Rwanda scheme failing, they might remember the word refoulement. And refoulement is woven through our laws on all of this. And unless you actually go through and pick that thread out, you're going to face legal challenge on the basis of refoulement. But then you're going to face legal challenge on the basis of human rights. You're going to face legal challenge on the basis of modern slavery. And it's been relatively hard to deport foreign criminals. The most success we've had is because we came to an agreement with Albania and we managed to get about 40% back. But even people who commit really serious offences, I saw a firearms offence earlier this year, and that wasn't enough to get them deported. Unless you change all the wiring, unless you fix the laws, this is not going to happen. It really doesn't matter what you say.
And are a lot of the obstacles international law, which we know Labour aren't going to want to remove us from? So is this just something to please the crowds but won't actually happen? I mean, how many times have we reported on people who've been foreign criminals and we haven't been able to deport them because of all this legislation? They get the best immigration lawyer involved, they get the best human rights lawyer involved, and they just end up staying here.
Yes, and you have to talk about culture as well, because there is a very strong cultural belief that deporting criminals is wrong. Now, I'm neutral. That's a political belief, so I'm not going to criticise that. But you have to recognise that it exists. Keir Starmer himself signed a letter 4 years ago trying to prevent the deportation of criminals. He presumably did that because he genuinely believes in it. David Lammy signed it too. Most of the lawyers working in this field, lots of them will be friends with Keir Starmer. Is there really the cultural and political commitment to this, or are we setting up the legal system to fail? Because that's the one that concerns me. Because if there's a deep political will amongst the people, but not amongst the elite, and if we keep throwing this issue against the legal system, and it starts to look like the judges are blocking the will of the people, that's not a very healthy position to be. Now, that won't be the genuine position, because it will simply be that the legal system hasn't been fixed to allow this. You can fix the legal system to allow this, but unless you're going to do it, this was just going to fail.
I know Keir Starmer, when he was chief prosecutor, was quite proud of his rights, or his record on human rights, whereby he would treat everyone that he was prosecuting with the utmost sort of respect. And his argument is therefore the cases against these people are watertight. If you say we're not going to deport these people to a country with the death penalty, if you say we're going to give them the best possible care, give them the best possible lawyers, you then have a completely watertight case if something is found against them. There's no room for appeal. What do you make of that argument?
Well, again, I doubt it will matter when it comes crashing against the system we have. Emily's question was also very good, and I should have addressed that more directly. It's international law and it's domestic law. Both of them are currently woven. Maybe I'll use that. I don't know if that's a tortured metaphor. I hope it helps your viewers. But they're currently woven to stop this happening, to stop deportation. They work very strongly to prevent it. Unless you reweave it to allow this to pass through the net, then it's just going to get blocked again. And that's really my concern, that we will bring the legal system into disrepute if for the third time the public see us effectively blocking something that they want to happen.
I mean, Stephen, this sounds like it might be an example of snake oil populism, if it actually can't be done without taking us out of all of these legal issues. But thank you very much. Stephen Barrett, barrister and writer, always fabulous to speak to you. Good stuff.